Hey, Magic Makers. I'm Mom Virella.
I'm Yukita Cosplay.
And I'm CJ Peterson, and welcome to Magic Making Mischief. Get your wands to the ready because we solemnly swear we're up to no good. And speaking of up to no good, we have some wonderful guests with us today. We have Ryan and Ruby Aguilar. And today we're going to be talking about doing cosplay on a budget. Jeremy says hello, everyone. Hello, Jeremy.
Cons on a budget.
Cons on
I
a.
don't
What did I say?
cosplay.
Oh, well, that too. Everything Comic Con related
close
on a
enough.
budget. Everything on a
Yes.
budget. Comic Con related. So fun stuff on a budget. The fun stuff, basically. So welcome, Ryan and Ruby. We're happy to
Thanks for
have
having
you.
us.
So we'll start probably basic Comic Cons on a budget.
Mhm.
Alita says yay. Hi, Alita. So welcome, first of all.
Thanks for
My
having
phone is
us.
going crazy.
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Do you have any questions? Do you want me to tell you how so I've been doing cons for about 25 years, and ever since I had this one about 15 years ago, I started taking her about like 10 years ago to cons, and
Almost 10.
yeah. And one thing I've noticed over the years is you really have to be frugal when you go to cons, especially if you're bringing a kid, because it gets pricey fast.
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
mommy, daddy, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look
Yeah.
at that. That's
Mhm.
For
really
2
cool.
kids.
Yeah.
So,
So kids alone can do it, but you've got like parking, you've got tickets, you've
oh
got
yeah.
Oh,
all
there's
the
so
fun
much.
stuff. You've got
Mhm.
cosplay, you've got, if you're doing it right, you have a lot of stuff to do. Plus, you've got food, you've got all sorts
Oh
of stuff.
yeah.
So kind of
It
let's
adds up
take
very
it
quickly.
down to the basics. Let's start from probably the beginning.
So a few years ago, I started doing a panel called "Hacking Your Hobbies," and I really started to get into not just the stuff that I do as far as like how do I save money on cons, but like what also would apply to other people. So I actually started doing some research, and I really honed down some key things when it comes to doing cons on a budget. First off, just getting to the con, parking. Parking, especially if you are going to a con in the downtown area, whether it's Houston or any other major city, parking can be just absolutely outrageous, anywhere from like $20 to $50 for day parking. And I've learned that there's this magical app called Spot Hero,
Oh,
and it is great for finding parking on a budget. And in the Houston area, like usually like when there's one at George R. Brown, the parking close to the con is typically about 30 to $50. But I've found parking close by within a mile for as low as $5 using this app all day. So that's one app I highly recommend for anybody when they're trying to find cheap parking. Uh, the next one is hotels. I know, Mombi, your husband was telling me at the what's it called?
Kimakwai.
Kima
Team
Kawaii.
Kauai,
Yeah.
Yes.
about how much he spent on hotels for
Oh my
Comic
gosh.
Palooza, and
Ooh.
it's yeah.
Insane. Sensitive
Um,
subject with the Skybridge issue.
so, but yeah, they can range, like, especially if the dates are blacked out for cons, especially if it's like one in the downtown area, they can go for $200 to $500 a night sometimes. Like it's ridiculous.
well,
But
you're dealing with supply and demand at that point.
oh
Um,
yeah.
Before you
Um
go, the art of the ride says awesome guest. So glad I got to see him, and here's excellent tips for con on a budget.
thank you.
Ayo. Nice.
Uh
But yeah, you're
but
dealing with supply and demand. Is that supply comes when
yeah,
cons come into the area? You're right. They
yeah.
have blocked off, so they're going to raise them up.
Mhm.
Right.
So one trick I found for that is if you know generally when a con's going to be at, like, ahead of time, like if it's usually in June, one tip
Trick.
I can give is book all the weekends for that con, like at the particular hotel that you want to go to, and then when you find out what weekend it's going to be, cancel the rest of those weekends. And if you do like Hilton or another major hotel company, they'll typically allow you to cancel without any kind of penalty. Um, the other
So, like,
thing
if
I have
you
to
know, like, if it's in like a certain month, sort of thing, is what you're saying.
yeah.
Just book for that month.
Hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
So So 1 year for Comic Palooza, I was actually able to get the Embassy Suites right across the street from there for $59 a night, and that was
What?
like a yep. I can prove it. I still have the receipts.
Brother,
Uh,
what?
yeah.
Gee whiz.
But like I said, I booked like 10 months in advance before they booked the date, or so I just canceled the rest of the weekends.
Okay,
Um,
that's super smart though.
yeah.
That really
And
is pretty brilliant, actually. I wouldn't have even thought to do something like that.
the other thing is, if you know anybody that works at like a Marriott, a Hilton, or any other major chain, ask if you can use their friends and family. I know that doesn't apply to
We've done
everybody.
that.
Yeah, like
We've
I
done
have a
that.
friend
I
who's
need
a
more
manager at a
friends.
Hilton. I have a friend that's a manager at a Hilton, and we use his friends and
Okay.
family all the time. We've gotten great deals on hotels, and
That's awesome.
yeah, so
We've done
If
that.
that's
not,
also
if
how I was
not,
able to
make
get
a
for
friend.
59 a night.
If not,
Huh?
make a friend who will be a good close friend
Yeah,
and family really
Right.
fast. Is
just
that what I'm hearing?
just go up to the
Yeah.
concierge at a random hotel and be like,
Hey,
"Hey, how's it
friend!
Hey,
going?" Yeah,
buddy.
exactly.
I have friends from Hawaii and be like, cousin.
Yeah,
Right? Like, hi, bestie. So, like, can I get like a discount? You know, you can stop by my hotel room and get some soda or something. I don't know.
Hey,
Our favorite kid from
bud.
nepotism.
yeah. Well, no, that would we're not related to him, so it'd be cronyism.
Cronies.
It'd be
There you
besties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bestie is
Hey,
the
go.
fam.
whatever.
How you doing? Yeah.
Um, the
Hey.
the other thing with hotels is it's not always about finding the cheapest hotel. It's about finding the hotel with the best amenities that will suit. Like, if you're getting a hotel that's not necessarily very close to the con, but is within shuttle bus
Mhm.
radius. Like
Mm,
most hotels
okay.
will do a free shuttle bus within 5 miles. So, like, if you find a hotel that's maybe like 3 or 4 miles away from the con, that way you can just have them pick you up and take you. That way you're avoiding parking and
We
stuff
did
like
that
that.
for week
Save
because
on
Yeah,
parking
we had
in.
to
Nice.
price
That's awesome.
That's
yeah.
different. There you go.
And a lot of hotels actually do provide limited range shuttle buses.
Mm.
Um,
although for some don't they also like have like certain priorities for people with airplanes and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah,
So
typically. But we've had pretty good luck with that. Also, you want to see if the hotel provides any kind of like free food. Like a lot of hotels, like Hilton's, will some like the Hampton Inns, Embassy Suites will do free breakfast,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
then like Embassy Suites will do like an evening reception with free food. And if like you're staying at the downtown Houston one, having like 2 free meals a day comes in handy.
Right?
Also,
No.
yeah,
Yeah. In the morning, you have
Well,
waffles.
and
In the morning,
also
I
one
want
thing that
waffles.
we learned from last year at the Hilton was that they have a microwave in the hallway, even if you don't pay to have it
mhm,
in your room. And there's a fridge in every room, which, okay, not all of them apparently work. We found out this year, but like ours did, thank God. So,
Ours
but
did.
yeah, we stocked ours and brought an ice chest, and we just microwave meals every meal throughout the whole weekend at Comic Palooza.
we've
And so
done
that was
coffee
really
pot
handy.
ramen before.
Thanks for the pizza, by the way.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Also, even if you don't have like say a microwave, if you all hotel rooms typically have like a coffee pot, so bring some ramen with you and do coffee pot ramen.
Or mac and cheese.
Yeah, mac and
Oh, that's
cheese.
smart.
Uh,
Hmm.
Shabri says we usually pack a cooler with snacks. Nice.
That's smart.
Yes.
That's smart.
Make your
Hmm.
sodas. You can do those mac and cheese, those little mac and cheese bowls. Just heat up the water.
Hmm.
You can do
Right.
soups. You can do all sorts of stuff.
The
Sandwiches are
other
easy things.
Mhm. The other thing, if you work a lot, or if you use like a credit card for work a lot, or you do like any kind of traveling for work, see if the reward points that you get through like credit cards or anything like work related or otherwise can be applied to your trip. Like, I know a lot of people that stay at the Hilton downtown in Houston, and they get into the executive lounge for free because they have the diamond level status. And with that, you can, get free food, like 2 meals a day, even at that particular hotel. So
That's nice.
also look to see if you can, like, use any of your credit card points. A lot of hotels have lounges, like Marriott has an executive lounge.
Love
Hilton
Marriott.
has an executive, huh?
I love the
Yeah.
Marriott.
Hmm. They have a really awesome executive lounge. I don't do theirs just because I do Hilton instead. But if not, I would definitely try to get into that program because it's pretty cool. But also, I do the diamond level for Hilton, so they usually provide extra amenities and things like that. Better internet if you have to end up working from the hotel or whatever. Just look into little things like that as well. Trying to think if there's anything else with hotels. Also, try to just look for a hotel with free parking. Ask if there's a limit to the amount of people that you can bring, because like some hotels are okay with you clown carring a hotel room. Some will charge you extra if they see like 20 people crowding into like a small room. But a lot of hotels also do like suites where Homewood, they'll have like a full kitchenette. We had a great time last year at the Homewood in downtown Houston. Full kitchen with stovetop, freezer, fridge, two bedrooms or two rooms, and a fold out couch. So we were able to sleep several people in there
Nice.
comfortably. So it's
Very
not
nice.
just finding the cheapest hotel, it's finding the one with the best amenities and that'll be comfortable for the amount of people that you intend on bringing.
And if you have the suite thing, you can just push the table over because you have the pull-out couch. You can also do an air mattress in that area too. Just push the
Oh yeah.
table over.
Also, some
So,
hotels will actually give you trundle beds for free if you ask nice, or if you're like on a certain level of rewards. Like I do diamonds, so I've asked for trundles before, and they give them to me for free.
yeah, so you
Nice.
can get quite a few in those rooms, especially the suites. So the suites are really nice because they're actually
Oh
normally
yeah.
very quiet.
hmm Um, trying to think about what else. Do y'all have any other questions as far as like hotels or parking or anything that
So,
y'all can think of?
so as far as parking, what was the thing that you said you book your space with called?
Spot Hero.
Spot
Spot
Hero.
Hero. I've heard of that. It's an app, right?
hmm
Yep, I've heard of it.
But
Also
if you're at a
website.
hotel that shuttles, then you don't even need to worry about it at all.
Yeah.
Like,
Or if you happen to have one that has a sky bridge that's actually open at the right time, you don't need to
Yeah,
worry
I
that
about
would
it.
be
there was one of
fantastic.
those.
Or, with
Yeah,
the right
I think
signage for the hours that it's available, that would be
that would be
fantastic.
just
spectacular.
saying, Comic Palooza, I
Also,
know that it probably saved money, but we would love to be able to use the Sky Bridge for the hotel we stayed at while
I
we were
know.
there. Just saying,
Because
also,
walking in Houston at night, not safe. Don't
it's
do that.
not so great.
also going the cheapest is not always the best bet because I've known people to get like red roof inns and not realize that you're not supposed to get a red roof in certain areas.
Oh
So
yeah.
I had a friend with a bad experience that
Yikes.
their daughter thought someone was cosplaying who was not cosplaying.
Oh,
So
Mm,
yeah,
oh my.
oh
but
no.
the point I'm
Oh,
trying to make is going the cheap route is not always the best. Go
that's
for a
great.
frugal, but also go for safe in a good area.
Oh my lord, that's
Oh,
horrible.
Also,
oof.
this is less about on a budget, but especially if you're using Ticketmaster to park way farther, always remember to bring an extra pair of shoes, like just some sort of sandals if you're wearing like high heels or heavy boots. Always remember that. That's just a tip for cons in general.
hmm
Always pack like a pair of sandals or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that.
don't just walk around downtown Houston in high heels.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Uh, but what's I gonna say? Going on to cons themselves. One thing I have to say is like people that want to like go to cons but don't have the money for it. Like I know Mombi has done several like free cons in the past. Local libraries will sometimes do free like
Yeah.
mini cons or like anime events, comic events, things like that.
The outdoor
Mhm.
festivals.
Yeah, the outdoor festivals. But also some cons like Anime Houston could be as cheap as $20 to get in for like the whole weekend if you buy the tickets in advance. So there are cons that you can go to that aren't going to break the bank, like say Comic Palooza or Anime Matsuri, which are like 100 plus,
Mm.
fees for the
Well,
whole weekend.
that's something too. If you want to go to the bigger cons, always get your tickets as early as possible because yes, they're going to wait to
Mhm.
announce our guests till later, but the ticket prices are going to just keep going up until the time that the doors open.
Oh
Jeremy
yeah.
says some schools have cons for teens. I know
That
the
is
cons
true.
that I
Mhm.
run, the kids at a certain age are for free. I know like the Piney Woods Comic Con that's going to be in August, the teens themselves are only $10. So check the prices themselves because sometimes the prices aren't that bad. Sometimes the weekend pass is actually a lot cheaper than if you buy per day. So
Mhm.
check the pricing itself.
Fun
So.
fact: some cons aren't even called cons; they're toy shows. And you can
Valid.
get into those for free, and you can, if you're a child, obviously, like the one I'm going to be doing, the one I'm going to be guesting at the Chemical Toy Fair in Austin. That's actually this weekend. Come see me, guys. And shameless plug.
Plug it
They,
in.
right? And they have kids 10 and under get in for free, which is perfect for Father's
Nice.
Day. I mean, come and see me. I'll give you a dad joke. It'll be great.
Yeah. So I mean, if you
Wow.
can find different cons, just check the pricing. Especially, like I said,
Mhm.
kids certain ages sometimes are even totally for free, which is great because you can get your kids in there, and that's introducing them to cons when
Yes.
Mhm.
and
Right?
getting them invested in it.
Raising them right. There you
Raise
go.
those nerds.
What
Yes,
was
and
the con in Mont Bellevue? I always forget the
I
name
was,
of that
I was gonna
one.
say Eastern Rim and NerdCon both are
NerdCon.
out there.
Eastern
NerdCon
Rim
is
was a
in Eastern Rim is going to be in August, and then NerdCon is in November this year.
Yes.
So, and
Eastern
those are
Rim
free.
was done so well because I think that's like a perfect starter one for kids because not only was it free, but they also had discounted food and everything.
Yes,
So it's like,
Mhm.
definitely
the
start off
food was like
kids with like,
highly affordable.
It
I
was
thought that was
actually really
awesome.
good too.
Yeah,
yeah,
Like, I remember that. You remember? I remember.
I remember.
I remember. Uh, but
I mean, there's
the
a
other
lot
thing
of
with con-
family. There's a lot of family-friendly ones too, and that's the other thing you need to watch out
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
If you are taking kids, make sure that it's a family-friendly con
Mhm.
because
Yes.
some are
Yes,
not
I
quite as
I have
family-friendly.
learned there are not
So
as family friendly of ones. Yes, my daughter one time I got one ticket to cover when I was earlier on in my media stuff, and I was like, oh well, I can't bring a cameraman because I can't get another ticket because I don't have the money to buy one right now. I was like, but I'd love to cover it, so I sent my daughter out to cover it, and the footage hasn't been released yet, and it's been over a year because she had some issues there because apparently it wasn't as family friendly as she's used to. And she came home and she's just like, Mom, I don't know what that was, but it wasn't normal. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not going to say the name of it, but yes, it was an awkward situation because it was very much more adult than family friendly.
yeah,
And
just
some of
kind
those
of
are out there. So
Yikes.
yeah,
yeah.
keep an
Even
eye
make
out
sure
for
to
that.
check on
I
them. Make
remember that.
sure that if you're taking your kids, that they are family
Yeah,
friendly.
I remember the one that
Be,
you're
be
talking about,
advised.
and it's like even the cons that are sometimes advertised as family friendly aren't always, and you definitely need to be leery. Going off the frugality thing, it's like taking my kid to like say one of the bigger anime conventions in Houston. I've had to be very careful with her because some cons have a reputation, and sometimes
Yeah.
they're legitimate. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
I,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Especially if you're in
but
cosplay.
yeah,
Pay attention
uh,
to reviews on things. Let's just
yes,
say.
Especially
absolutely.
from people who have experienced things
Oh,
firsthand. Yeah.
Yes. There you
yeah,
go.
that's the other thing. Going back to like the cons themselves, that's a like reviews will help you out so much because if I had read reviews about a certain, no, I wasn't going to say the name, but you already said it. But yeah, that one was very poorly done, and we ended up spending a
Oh.
lot of money on little things that we didn't know about ahead of time. It's like read reviews on cons.
Mm.
That way they can say, hey, they're charging $25 for parking, or they're charging $8 for bottles of water, or they're not providing water for free.
Mhm.
Just little things like that. And this isn't just to that one particular con, but you always want to know more about a con before you end up going so you can see the
Right.
issues that you might end up having. Um,
I feel bad for name dropping.
it's okay. But anyways, going back to getting in for cheap or free. One thing that I started doing 6 years ago is I started doing panels, and that is one great way to get into cons for free.
Mhm.
I have saved so much money doing panels, and I've done panels at about 12 different cons so far. So it saved me a ton of money, and I love it. A lot of cons, when you do a panel, they'll give you typically a pass or two. Some are a little bit stingier with passes. Not going to name the one, but they were just giving out one day passes for panels. But that's one way that I've saved a lot of money is doing panels. And it's kind of funny because I'll do a panel on being a cheapskate, and I'll get passes for doing that
That's,
panel.
oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Like they always
Yeah.
accept that one for some reason.
And if you are going to do panels, it's really easy. And as long as you submit something that is original that you haven't seen at other cons before, like, and you're articulate and you come off as responsible and that you're going to show up, you have a pretty good chance of getting a panel. Um,
I think offer something of value. So like whether it's something
mhm.
that you're an expert in per se, or something that like that other people would want to know more about even too. Yeah.
I, I do two, yeah. I do two main panels, Hacking Your Hobbies and Geek Cred Trivia, and my daughter actually started doing one called Topic of the Day. Uh, but
Yeah, so you're
That's
yeah,
offering multiple panels, which is great.
yeah.
awesome.
Going on to go the cons themselves, and like when you're going, one thing you absolutely need to budget for is food.
Mhm.
Like when you're
Mhm.
actually in the con, not just when you're in the hotel room, but when you're actually going into the con, I highly recommend, and it's just common sense, but eat before you go. And if you end up going there and you're hungry, look around close by to see if there's any restaurants in the area that have like, deals. Like even in downtown Houston, there's a couple restaurants close to the GRB that actually have pretty good happy hour deals. Food, like there's one called the Rustic that's right next to the GRB that they
Yes.
do yep, they do like a $5 happy hour. Saltgrass does a really good happy hour. The lake house across from the GRB next to the park has pretty reasonable food, but just do due diligence before you go to a con, and like look up on your app and see what's close by. Also, DoorDash. I normally don't recommend DoorDash, but DoorDash will deliver to cons. So
They do. They delivered us
yeah.
our Frank's Pizza at
Mhm.
Comicpalooza, and it was a treat.
I've actually never tried one of those before because I'm kind of skittish about them.
About what?
Girl, we almost
We've
live off
kinda
of
had
them, and it's
ups and downs
terrible.
Like
with
people
DoorDash.
handling my food. I don't know. I'm like weird about it.
I totally get
They
it.
seal it, Mombi. It's okay. It's
It's
actually
sealed,
sealed.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we've
Oh,
we
we've
have
kind of
Uber
had
Eats and
good
we have
and bad with
DoorDash.
it. It's like sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't, but that's with going through the
I'm also
That's
one
drive-thru.
of
what
those people who like
It's
coats my food in sauces. So like I'd be the one that goes, look, I got French fries, I got chicken nuggies, I got sauce. It's my sauce.
so yeah. I
she
mean,
uses the
there's
food as a way to transport the sauce to her mouth. That's
There's no
basically it.
point of food
pretty much.
without sauce. Okay.
She's just a very saucy girl.
So she likes food with her sauce
sauce.
instead of sauce with her food.
That
Got
part.
it.
Yeah.
There you go.
um, going on past food to buying stuff at the convention, non-food related. Um, I find that buying stuff in the vendor halls typically is not the best place to find those items the
Mm.
cheapest. I like to go through the vendor halls as window shopping, and if I see something I like, I'll make a note of it and look for it later online. And there are some local talent that do really great like handmade stuff, and even with them you can find good deals with local people and stuff, but typically anything at the con is going to be pricier than you would find it
Anime
somewhere else.
figurines are not
Yeah.
the best to buy.
Right.
I would put in do it if you're gonna do it Sunday afternoon because they do
Yep,
not want
Sunday,
to repack that stuff.
The
Mhm.
last day.
especially if it's
Mhm.
heavy.
Although it's a
The
gamble
stuff
whenever it comes to Sunday, because
yeah, with
Yeah.
the
sometimes some
cons that
vendors
I've
will pack up.
yeah, with the cons that I have worked, 9 out of 10 times they do not wanna repack it. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
you can
Unless
Um
it's
So
something they have
they
negotiate.
to
might
shove
offer you
into
a
their car.
discount.
Yes, you can do some
They might
negotiating.
they might
also
negotiate. They might offer you a deal. Yeah.
I've gotten a few items for free. I don't recommend this for everybody, but I've gotten a few items for free by offering to help vendors pack up on Sundays
Oh,
because they're so
Or
desperate for help.
discounted. Or
Yeah, or
discounted, yeah.
discounted.
mm,
Yeah. No, because
Um,
it takes a lot of work to do that. Like I said, I work the
right.
yeah.
floors, and so watching them load and unload, that's a lot of work. So
um,
if they can get some extra help.
Anime Houston last year was actually offering autographs for people who were going to help them close up on Sunday last year. Do you remember that, Bumpy?
I missed that. I didn't hear them. I
Same.
must have
Yeah,
missed that
like
somewhere. That's awesome. I wish I
even
was
if
that
you
one.
hadn't already, yeah, even if you hadn't volunteered, they were offering anybody that helped them pack everything up. They're offering them like one free autograph
Huh.
by any anime artist.
Hmm.
Wow, that's cool.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I love
so
Anime Houston.
so
That's a really good one.
oh, they're awesome. They always put on a great show, and they've always been great to us whenever we go and do panels there.
Mhm.
We've done both years.
We've done it most years.
Yeah.
Like we did last year, we did the year before that, and then the year before that too,
Mhm.
which was crazy. That year.
Yeah.
Well, and if you
Uh,
talk to the vendors themselves, a lot of times they, they will offer deals if you buy like 2 or more
mhm.
items, or
Mhm.
if you talk to them, a lot of times they're willing to. It's kind of like going to New York. A lot of things are negotiable.
Yes,
Um,
If you ever been to New York, a lot of things are negotiable.
especially on Canal Street.
the last piece of advice that I would give is I've actually made monies going to cons before because, like, I'll say go to Comic Palooza and I'll know a certain artist is going to be there. I used to work at a movie theater, so I would bring movie posters if I knew a particular movie was coming out or artist. I would bring those posters or other collectibles to sell to vendors there, and I would actually
Oh.
make a little bit of money doing that.
That's smart.
Another thing is, at some cons, not so much like the locally produced ones, but like some of the bigger ones like RTX, PAX, South by Southwest. A lot of times, the industry supported cons, they give away free swag at those conventions that you can't find anywhere else. And I've actually made quite a bit of money reselling like video game pins from PAX. When I don't know if y'all have ever been to that one. There was one in San Antonio called PAX South, and they would give out these little like video game pins. And the
Cool,
last year
cute.
that they did it there, I got a whole bunch of those little pins, and I was able to resell them online and basically pay for my entire weekend. I'm not saying that's
Oh,
going to apply
wow.
to everybody, but the point I'm trying to make is
Mm.
if you just keep your ear to the ground, ask around, there's always ways that you can save, make money at conventions. It's just about asking around, knowing what to do, going on Discord, basically keeping in touch with other people and like, making contacts and, you know, especially if you've just been doing it for years like I have.
Very cool.
That's
Well, thank
awesome.
you so much, Ryan and Ruby. If you want to learn more about them, you can go to their YouTube channel, which
Yeah.
is www.youtube.com at Geek Cred Trivia.
On that site, I
Yes.
do mostly right now where I go around conventions and ask people trivia questions and people that are in costume, and I ask them trivia questions about what they're dressed up as.
Very cool.
Yes.
Next week, same time, same box, we're going to be having animator from Charmy's Army, Davy Jones. Do not
Ayo.
miss it. So everybody get your ones to the ready. Mommy?
Thank y'all so much for joining us. And also, do y'all have any panels coming up for conventions in the
Yes,
short future?
we have one coming up at BotCon the second week of July. It's going to
Awesome.
be at the Marriott at Hobby Airport, Houston, Texas. And it's also a
Awesome.
reasonably priced convention, so I highly recommend it.
Welcome,
Awesome.
reminds
So
me of
y'all check
bacon.
them out there. Also, check out the YouTube because the trivia questions are pretty darn good. Actually, sometimes I get most of the
He
ones I get
stumped
asked
me
right.
every
Like, I think
time.
he's just being nice to me. I don't know, or I know my
He's
stuff well.
nice
I'm
to
not
you.
sure
He
what.
stumps me every time. I feel a little dum-dum. I'm like, you're not asking the right person. If you ask me anything Disney and Harry Potter, I got you. But you ask Star Wars, and I'm like,
He
great,
usually
where's
based it.
Prey?
It'll be based off your cosplay. And if you haven't had a chance to yet, guys, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, CJ Peterson and Mommy Rella on YouTube, as well as check out Yukita Cosplay on Instagram. And till next time, see y'all later. Mischief managed. Bye.